So, based on our previous discussion about red meat, white meat, nutrition, and health implications, I went ahead and did some research on what can be the consequences of continuously, habitually consuming deep fried pork or deep fried red meat. Pork is an example of red meat. So, here's what this AI is giving me. It's like, based on our entire discussion, a person who continuously consumes deep fried pork is exposed to multi-layered and significantly elevated health risk. This conclusion synthesizes the biochemical risks of red meat by the added danger of deep frying process. So here you see the deep frying is a danger. It's like elevating the dangers brought about by red meat. So here's a breakdown on the combined risk profile. So remember, this information right now you could be healthy, but it's good to know it. You know, health is a must for everybody. Health eating, health body, and knowing something you could help maybe a friend or a parent or a relative. Like you don't know. Okay, you could be planning on future family and knowing what a good nutrition is composed of is something that is gonna help you have a healthy family. So I'm in a noisy place, so in case you're disturbed by the background noise, please, you might pardon me for that. But let's go on. So, risk factor. So, from the previous videos, we talked about hemi iron. So, this is something that is associated with red meat. Okay, white meat and plant high protein, they lack this. Okay? And this is the concentration of oxygen in muscles and that stuff. So if you're following from previous videos, you understand what hemi iron will mean. So primary health concern and biochemistry, the chemical mechanism, there's colorectal cancer. So this hemi iron catalyzes the formation of N-natural soul compounds and lipid pre-oxidation in the colon, leading to DNA damage. When we already said, when the DNA is damaged, when the DNA structure is damaged, that's one way in which the body is exposed highly to cancer cells. That's the birthplace for cancer cells. So this is sustained deep frying, okay? Processed meat compounds, often in braided, fried cuts, and these contain nitrates and seasoning coloring. So nitrates can form carcinogenic natural salmons, especially under high heat. This is under grilling, under deep frying. So these form this is going to bring about colorectal cancer. And how does it come about? From these carcinogenic natural salmons. Okay, we have selected fat and cholesterol, pork fat plus absorption of frying oil. So as you're deep frying some of them, after the process, you find something is super dry. There's oil, there's oil components that are absorbed by whatever you're frying. So the pork fat and that absorbed oil fat is going to bring this heart disease. Erased by how? Erases LDL, cholesterol, cholesterol, promotes ather. Oh my God, these words, these biological words are just hard, giving me a hard time, hard time today. But since we're reading together, you can see it. T2D and may contribute to insulin resistance. So we already saw this glitch in insulin is going to cause type 2 diabetes. So we have avoid advanced glycation end products, eggs, and it is high heat milet reaction during flying. So inflammation on T2D binds to receptors, which promoting oxidative stress and impairing insulin signal. So what are we trying to do here? You ask, well, what's this guy doing? I'm trying to show you what can cause cancer. So for instance, here they're telling us avoid processed meat. Why should I avoid processed meat? Because it got compounds that can, once put under high heat, like deep frying or grilling, can form carcinogenic nitrosamines that can bring about colorectal or cancer. Okay, why? Okay, that's one. Avoid red meat because it got hemi iron, which uh, catalyzes the formation of N-nitrosyl compounds and lipid preoxidation in the colon, leading to DNA damage. So again, we being like, so there's also here. So this smoke from dripping food and oil pyrolysis. So oil pyrolysis like breakdown, chemical breakdown. So once you're using your oil, and this is mostly when we reuse our oil. There's and this is so common in African homes where you buy cooking oil and you really want to reuse it again and again. So you will trying to save a little money, but you're indirectly spending the money because oil can be like, let's say, $1. But once you get cancer, to pay for chemotherapy, you're going to pay like 1 million, and yet you just got the cancer cells from irresponsible eating, reusing oil. So this oil breakdown is also related to colorectal cancer. Okay, and the list goes on and on. So you could want to ask yourself, what can I do to mitigate? They're telling you to radically change cooking methods, just raising, stewing, steaming, and roasting at lower temperatures. Okay, avoid culling. This is grilling, barbecue, nyama choma. Avoid it. So use a protective marinade. Marinate pork mixtures containing antioxidants. This is mixing with herbs. I told you herbs are going to lessen the formation of the hydrocarbons. So you can use rosemary, thyme, garlic, onion, turmeric, black pepper, vinegar, lemon juice. Use all that to reduce that. Okay. So pair with protective foods. So they're telling you, in case you cannot go well with deep fried pork, you can eat it along with broccoli, Brussels, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, and you can go with is this spinach, skamawiki. You know, they high. You choose anything that has dark chlorophyll. Actually, it's here. What I'm trying to get is here. This one here. So this is called cruciferous vegetables. So go for that. Uh, and dark leafy greens, spinach, curly, rich in chlorophyll, which can bind to heterocyclic almonds and hemi iron. So if you're going to have deep fried pork, you can have a salad of spinach. Okay, and that shouldn't be very expensive. That should be easy to do. So go with high fiber foods like whole grains, legumes, W potent carcinogens in the colon, and promote short chain fatty acid production. So go with legumes, beans, uh, grind nuts. Go with cassava, whole grain. Go with maize, corn. Okay, choose and choose lean, unprocessed cuts. So again, avoid unprocessed meat. Okay, avoid avoid bacon, avoid ham, avoid sausages. Okay, avoid those products. Never reuse oil, and I've put never, and this one just got me insecure. I got offended with this because I've been reusing oil like all my life. When I read this, I was like, what? Never reuse cooking oil. So you're telling us to discard oil after one use. Wow, this is hard to do, but we have to do it, okay? Because cancer is expensive and cancer is rampant these days. So repeatedly hitting dras- drastically increases the concentration of toxic lipid preoxidation products and polar compounds. So never reuse cooking oil. Prioritize overall dietary pattern. And here in our video, we had something called the Mediterranean diet. So you can also practice the Mediterranean diet. So in case you're watching this video and you want to know what the Mediterranean diet is, you can search it on the internet and you can also watch it in our previous video. You you will just see it there. It's a breakdown on what food you should eat, how you should eat it, what timetable you should follow. Yeah, and it's been passed down from generation, so it's something that is legit. It's been done by people over and over again. So, in summary, continuous consumption of deep fried pork represents a high risk dietary pattern that engages multiple well characterized biochemical pathways for chronic disease. The most educated conclusion is to treat it as an occasional food. Okay? What they're trying to summary, treat grilled food, barbecue. Do not have it as your lunch, your supper, your lunch, your supper. Or you make it like every Tuesday I'm going to have barbecue. You're burying yourself. So treat it as an occasional food, not a staple, and to implement their mitigation strategies above to drastically reduce the associated hazards. So you try to never use or prioritize overall dietary pattern. Choose lean and processed cuts, all that to avoid cancer. If you were interested in the space, or that's AI telling me more, and I did ask it about this, but we shall not go into that for now. Yeah, we can end it there. Make sure you check the entire playlist and recommend it for a friend who's doing biochemistry or someone who's doing something in nutrition or for your own family, for a friend who is irresponsibly eating grilled food, etc. etc. So that's it. And if you didn't get any part of the video because of the noise in the background, you can pray back and you can also pardon me. I'll work on that in a minute so you can get a much better place to record the videos. Yeah, that's it.